Hello and welcome back. It is Sunday. It is Sunday afternoon, and I totally missed the fact that AuthorTube was having a writer's retreat. So I'm here at your regularly scheduled 4:30 to 6:30 Eastern time for a productivity sprint, and I might even be productive. I might even do writing stuff and not blogging stuff, but I wouldn't hold your breath.
Oh my gosh.
As you should probably know, I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood, and I have the lovely, amazing Sako with me and the handsome and awesome Doc Coleman with me. So, did y'all want to go ahead and introduce yourselves and say hi?
Sure. Howdy, howlers. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey Voit, and it's not just me talking, it's people like Barrett Laurie and Lisa Daly and a bunch of other author tubers that have something to say on the matter. So you should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
And I'm Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. And I'm just an independent author making my way in the world and having opinions on things, which hopefully are at least a little bit entertaining in the process.
Awesome. So, how has your week been? Mine has been full of family stuff and work and telling my mom's dogs to shut up, especially at 5 in the morning.
Oh, that sucks.
My week has been full of being tired all the time. Last week I was mostly working from home, but we had construction going, putting the new siding up on the outside of the house, and fortunately they've finished with our unit for now and moved on to the next one, but it's still been noisy and irritating, and we don't have gutters back yet, so it's not over.
Yeah.
Like the first thing they take down is the gutters, and it's like, okay, the last thing they put up is the gutters. So we'll see.
What's the very last thing? I thought the very last thing was taking the metal detector and finding all the screws they dropped.
Oh no, they don't bother with that. They leave your feet to do that. No, the last thing they'll do is put the numbers back on the house, return our screen door, which they took to make sure that they wouldn't damage it, and probably put the porch light back up, because it's like when they took down the siding, they took off the porch light.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Socket?
I drew a lot.
Ooh, how is your hand? Have you been doing your stretches?
I should do more stretches. I should. And like running my hands under hot water, which is super, super nice. I found a new technique for coming up with new art pieces and making sure it's like super robust and super complete. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. And today I hope to do a few more sketches for this like long-term commission that I'm working on for a band.
Nice.
And yeah, it's like 16 pictures for like little collector cards that they're like releasing with the album.
Awesome.
So it has to do with their shtick when they're on tour and stuff. So
that's super fun.
Yeah.
On Friday, I managed to nearly twist my ankle dashing back to the car for something I'd forgotten. I managed to wrench my elbow in horrible ways. Because did you know that not all dryers auto stop when you open the doors? And
that
like
is true.
if you reach in to like grab something to see if it's dry and there's only like 4 things in it, you have to grab something on the outside edge and it could rotate your elbow with it. And then I got home and slammed the car door into my forehead.
You need to
Oh,
stop hurting
dude.
yourself. You're
So
putting masochists out of work, or you're putting sadists out of work. Uh,
Friday was a red letter day for me. I'm just saying. But things come in threes, so knock on wood, I should be fine for a while now.
You should be fine for a while, yeah.
Yeah. So my arm is mostly okay as long as I don't like strain it all the way, and it kind of hurts here and occasionally here, and it's snowing. So let's see what that does to my shoveling capabilities.
Yay.
So I just wanted to whine. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. Anytime.
Do you need some cheese with that wine? No.
All right. So I see Andy is here. Hello. He's sympathizing with Doc in the long, tired week and sympathizing with my klutziness. So, oh, what a week. So we know what Sako is working on. What are you working on today, Doc?
I'm continuing to process feedback from my beta readers. Had
Oh, right. I
one
always
thing.
forget that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you always forget that somebody's got to process the feedback when it comes back.
No. I always forget that some people don't wait until the end to process it all.
Well,
I don't.
what
I don't chunk it. So
I take the comments and I put them into Scrivener in my manuscript so that I can see who's saying what where. And I actually just got my first reader who finished the whole thing because she was basically reading a section a day and getting the feedback right back to me. So I've got something like I've got 6 different sections where I need to incorporate the feedback into the manuscript. So.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah,
I don't actually make changes to the manuscript until I figure I've gotten all the feedback I'm going to get. But I go ahead and process it and put it in place, and that starts the wheels turning on what I'm going to do.
I find like if I look at one person's first, I like lean in their direction, but if I take it all at once, then I can better judge a little more. And usually what I do is I have like my manuscript on one screen and like 4 versions of the document with all their different comments in another screen. Because Google Docs won't let you merge comments into one document that I know of. And so then I just go through everybody's comments, and I know they say don't skip the line edits until you've, done the
It's
bigger
hard
things,
not
but
to.
I can't
Yeah.
see the forest for the trees. I've got to get all of the little things out of the way so I can look at the big picture comments.
Me too.
So
yeah,
I do it wrong, but I know I'm doing it wrong.
If there's line edits and it's like, oh yeah, that is correct, I'll just do it, and it's like, yeah, I may go over and re-edit over it, but it takes so little time to just like, oh, fix that spelling mistake, or get rid of that extra space. It's like, there's no reason to let it sit around, even if you're going to end up blowing away that entire sentence and rewriting it.
Yeah. So my dad was mocking a meme on Facebook because I think it was adverbifying a noun or something like that.
A long and storied
And it was
tradition.
like, have beta read your work? And I can tell when you've added a new paragraph because there are dropped words and bad punctuation, and you don't even spell check the new sections. How do you get away with saying, oh, you read your stuff before you, and then dissing somebody's meme? I'm like, no. I expect grammar and stuff on published works. On social media, if you can understand the meaning, it's TFU.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a new watcher. Hello, Paul Strasser Jr. Hello. Usually he'd be working on his book, but he's got a 2 to 3 page paper due for school, so that's what he's going to be working on tonight. Which came first, American literature or American book publishing?
Literature.
Publishing. I believe we were probably printing it before we came up with our own unique style and
Yeah,
genre.
I'd have to say that I would. It would be interesting to see someone to make a case that that Americans were defining a literature style before we actually had working printing presses going on and doing publishing.
First thing that was printed via press was a Bible.
Right. But
In America?
that was
No, in Germany.
Yes, I
right.
know. But
We're
this is
very
talking
familiar with
about American
Gutenberg.
book publishing, not
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gutenberg.
Paul says he thought it was literature, but after reading into it, he's with us. It's publishing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
publishing. Okay.
Because we were going off our, the book style from whatever language we, grew up and learned in. And so it took us a while to depart from, you know, especially since we weren't printing anything from the people who were already here.
Cough, cough.
So yeah. Uh, Well, let's go ahead and do a sprint and see about this whole productivity thing and or finding a snack. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
thirsty. What do you think?
I think some self-care is in
Stay
order.
hydrated.
Absolutely.
Right. So, okay, let's see. Bookmark. That's sorry, does anybody else start like Indiana Jonesing to themselves when they're like giving themselves a timer? Okay, just me.
Oh, but I
Okay.
was just watching Notice earlier and was laughing when they started when he started whistling the theme to Indiana Jones while robbing a Nazi.
Yeah, that's just like how I do.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. And we're back. How was your spread? What did you get done?
I smoked a cigarette and I'm doing more homework, like research on the stuff that I'm supposed to be drawing.
Nice.
I think I've got most of the way through one set of comments. And it's one of those fun things that it seems like in every beta read, there's always like one reader who's like the heart of the story that like everybody else comments on spelling and I had this question, I had that question, and this person is just commenting on all the emotional beats through the whole thing, and I love that those kind of feedback because it's the stuff that lets you know that you're hitting the audience where you want to hit them.
Hey, that's awesome. How are your sketches, or are they full out drawings at this point, Sako?
They're sketches. And I'm just like figuring out like so I'm drawing like a rainforest tribesman sort of situation, and they want like face paintings and stuff on them, but like they don't start doing that until you get to like Africa and Papua New Guinea. So I'm like, how much cultural appropriation are we like going for here? Like,
yeah, I get that. Yeesh.
would they be like okay with me just like doing half of his face one color and half of his face another color and just call it a day? Can I do that without like pissing anybody off? I don't want to like pull from reality for this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I have a friend, or one of the women I grew up with was posting on Facebook, so I saw her feed. I don't think we were ever in any classes together, but her son is biracial, and she was doing a makeup day, and she did a makeup that was half and half, and that was maybe not as well thought out as she thought it was.
Oh,
Yeah. So
hi, Jenny.
So we had a bunch of people jump in while we were off sprinting. Hello, Barrett. Thank you for hitting that like button. You might already be gone. You did not jump into my time. I just wasn't paying attention. I've had stuff going on, and I just have not been paying attention to online events. So, Barrett asked how Sako was, and she tweaked her knee this morning. Ooh, that makes us twin knee limpers.
Fist bump.
Yeah.
Solidarity.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's my ankle, not my knee. So
Yeah.
It's my knees. I can relate.
Yeah. I think of all people, Doc is definitely on the knee relation.
Yeah,
So.
and the bad thing is when you get up in the morning and it's like, I've just started and I've got a twisted knee. What the?
Yeah. I lack knee sockets, so it can dislocate at the drop of a hat. Yeah. And it's doing that in between thing where it feels dislocated, but I can't. Like I didn't like blow it out. I just kind of like tweaked it.
Yeah.
I just suddenly stepped on it and then it hurt. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's so frustrating.
And it's like one step will hurt and the next step will be fine.
So far, I just be careful with how I walk and I'm good.
Yeah.
I've started foam rolling the bottoms of my feet. I like stand on the foam roller and put my hands, like brace them on the bed or something, and just roll them. And it helps. It's helping my ankles a lot because my feet get tight and it gets tight up to there.
That's cool.
Okay. So you have to align your ankles when you get up.
Yeah.
Because I can't always get to the chiropractor. Not all chiropractors are good at feet adjustment, and so yeah.
I am a huge fan of my chiropractor, Kemper something. But Verity introduced me to them, and like they take the feet and the ankles and all of that jazz into consideration.
I
when they
loved
do
the
an
one I
adjustment.
had before I moved here when I was in my townhouse before, but it's with traffic
Oh, getting out there is just
into
like,
Fairfax
Mhm.
City, and I'm just like, no.
oh,
Um,
that sucks.
yeah,
No,
but the
the
one
one
I
that
have
I
now
got
is
is not in Fairfax.
yeah, the one I have now is in Gainesville and is adequate, but isn't amazing. And I've been meaning to switch, but then COVID,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I hadn't been going in, and if I need emergency work, since I'm already on their things, they can usually fit me in the same day or next day. So,
Yep.
hopping over to the comments, Andy says he's dealing with Scrivener's compiler feature. I have no
Yeah.
compiling issues in my day job. I don't need to compile my writing.
Well, yeah. The Scrivener had a neat, very easy push button compiling feature, and in version 2 and then in version 3 they decided to change it up so it'd be more flexible so that people could customize it a lot more, and it just
Mhm.
made it harder to track down problems. So I can relate to struggling when a compiling feature is doing things just off, and, and you
I
can't find
wanted,
the settings.
yeah, if I wanted a super customizable document compiler, I would just go with LaTeX.
Yeah, really.
So anyway, Jenny is here. Hello, Jenny. Greg is
Hello.
here. Hello and welcome. And Barrett says hi to everybody who hopped in.
Yay.
And of course, Patrick is on the spelling is an after issue. Narrative flow is the thing. If the writing isn't there, properly spelled words will be replaced with other words. Yes, we know it's wasted work, but we can't see the forest for the trees. Some of us have to pay attention to the details. If you are able to do that, more power to you. I did acknowledge I did it wrong, but it works for me, which is, I do believe, the golden rule of writing.
Yeah. Whatever
If
works
it
for you.
wipes, it wipes.
Pretty much. So, Ginny says Barrett's been all over the place today. He's like, American Express, everywhere you want to be. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why I'm on every social media known to man, woman, dog.
Because dogs are on social media.
Yeah. I also love to quote Ariel. I want to be where the people are, up where they walk, up where they talk, up where they watch the snowfall all day. So for Paul's sprint, he got some research done for his paper. He needs to cite 3 examples and got 114 words done. Halfway
Nice.
there. Snap.
1.5 pages to go.
Yeah, no, you don't bump the knee. It's fragile enough already.
Yeah,
That
no
knee, no
biscuit.
biscuit.
It gets no biscuit today.
So Paul says that he fractured his shoulder socket in an obstacle course race in September. So is on the injury club as well. Woohoo!
Welcome to the party.
Great. Yeah. Andy says with Scrivener, it's a case where the developers didn't listen to user response or UI or UX team comments. And I'm like, I'm hearing scope creep and nobody thinking it through. It's not usually actually software's fault when people don't think through everything they're asking for.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed pretty obvious to me that they had a lot of people asking for certain functions, and so they built them. But it's just the massive change in the user interface is just kind of threw off people who
Frustrating.
were used to the old ones, and it's like,
Yeah.
I like Scrivener for writing, which is my personal preference, but it seems like people want Scrivener to be their one-shop stop for everything from idea from the original concept to publishing your ebooks, and it's like it's not built for that. It's not intended to be that.
Can't it just have like plugins and add-ins for specific things?
That's probably
Can't
a
they
much
do it
better route to have gone.
So, yeah, scope creep is an issue, and I totally get it. And you end up doing everything poorly instead of what you
What's
intended to do
important.
well.
Yep.
So, sorry, day job, software hat right now. I argue with my boyfriend all the time because he's a hardware guy, and so he thinks it's always software's fault. And he's wrong.
And he's wrong.
No.
So, Greg asks if Wordle counts as a social media. The number of people I see posting their Wordle pictures of the day, at this point, I do believe it does.
Yeah.
In the last week. For those who don't know, it's apparently a word problem or like a scramble sort of game.
It's a game of Mastermind where you're trying to guess a 5-letter word.
And you get one puzzle a day.
Yeah.
Greg says it's always the DNS's fault.
I'm gonna send my client my sketches so far.
Yay.
Yes, oh, so during the sprint, I managed to copy my 0 draft and rename my first draft, and enjoyed and got super excited just reading my first sentence, and then decided I might want to reorder the first sentence so certain phrases come before other phrases. So that's as far as I got. Oh, and I watched some reels on Facebook because I'm not on TikTok. Because I'm not on TikTok. I have a TikTok, and then I immediately uninstalled it from my phone because I'm a little suspicious of China. I don't know.
Yeah.
So let's see. Andy says, day job, customer success for software. I believe he meant service. He gets to listen when it takes 10 steps where you could do it in 2. Yeah. The struggle is real, yo.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts to raise my eyebrows. I need to go wrap myself in cushions.
Oh.
Do you need to relocate to the couch and just build a fortress? No.
I mean,
I am currently in a blanket fort.
I think it'd be safe if I don't leave my house. But who's gonna come shovel my driveway?
Isn't that what boyfriends are for?
So with the 25 goats and the llama and the 5 chickens and the dog and the 2 cats, it was opted that he needed to stay at his place tonight.
Yeah.
And I don't want him risking himself on, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a dark and stormy night is not actually the opening line to my story. Do we need to hear it?
Well, it's a snowy night. No.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it always a dark night in space? No.
So I believe night is dark unless you're like right up near the pole. That's part of what makes it night. It was a dark night. It was a night. I mean, isn't that the same thing?
No, not always.
Well, if it's stormy, you're going to assume that the moon and the stars are not really visible and there's a lot of overcast, and therefore it's going to be darker. So I think a stormy night is going to be assumed to be dark unless there's a lot of lightning.
Yeah, and fires and explosions.
Sure. Have you added an explosion to your novel recently?
I don't think this one has explosions in it. I might have to go check. No. Hey, I've been writing a whole nother novel before coming back to this one, so it's like all the details are not all that fresh in my mind.
Does the new one have explosions?
Does the new one have explosions? The new one definitely has a flamethrower.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
The building was on fire.
It wasn't my fault.
Is this when I say I got like the first 3-5 Dresden File books for my uncle for Christmas?
See, I looked at that and I read it first. The building was on fire and it wasn't entirely my fault.
Right. So there is a lovely song. I forget who wrote it, but I've heard it by a couple different geeky things. And it's basically, you and I are kind of like, and they do the geek version and they say Harry Dresden and what's her name? Karen?
Mm-hmm.
And that, I'm gorgeous and smart and a clever cop and all this stuff. And, you set buildings on fire and you're currently wanted by the cops for arson.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Files.
Patrick said he said my favorite word. Which one? Fire?
Or explosion.
I would have thought it was something more like verbs. Because it's Patrick. And Patrick likes verbs. And doesn't like nouns and prepositional phrases and adverbs.
Just verbs?
Just verbs.
Just mainline of verbs.
Flamethrower.
He is a fan of
flamethrower. Okay.
Nice. Did you know that you can get one overnighted from Amazon for about $130? Okay, technically they're weed dragons and the propane is sold separately, but take that limiter off and I think you're in game. Patrick does like verbs. He gets paid to like verbs. I think you'd like it even without the money. Just saying. So anyway, do we want to
do another sprint maybe?
Did you know you can build one and not get on like 32 government lists? Perhaps we should not discuss this during the live stream.
I like Greg's comment. Yes, yeah.
Conjunction
with math, folks. Yeah, I like all the parts of speech, and I exercise them ruthlessly in my writing. So
ruthlessly,
I make those words work.
Ooh, his has 40 custom settings. Amazon that. Be a rich tech bro. MM Ward is hanging out on the Winter Writers Retreat as a guest host. Have fun, and I hope it's awesome. And I'm sorry for going up against y'all. I just didn't pay attention. I'm sorry.
Thanks for stopping in.
Well, you were scheduled first.
Yeah, but events are events. So.
Yeah, but the joy of YouTube is you can come back to it when you have time. So
True. So let's go ahead and do another sprint. I'm enjoying 22 minutes because we know that Morgan is easily amused. So let's go ahead and get started in a 3, 2, 1, boom. And we're back. How was your sprint?
Good. I'm working on some sketches for a new painting, and this time it's for me. God damn it!
Yay!
You should always keep a few pieces for yourself, right? So that if you become mind-numbingly popular, you can, sell a few to finance your retirement. No.
Here's something.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. How was your sprint, Doc?
I did pretty well. I finished up the first set of feedback and started with another set on the same set of chapters. So
Nice. I got through 3 pages. Not the
okay.
fastest, but adequate. Definitely adequate. So, I love this story, and I hope I can do it justice. I really do. It's a really fun story.
Yay!
So I'm so happy I went back and rewrote it.
Yay!
Okay, so let's pop into the comments. Let's see. Andy says that he is Patrick charges 50 to 100 dollars per hour freelance, so he's working on getting paid to be a rich tech bro. Get that dollar, make it rain, y'all. Hello, Jenny. Jenny just finished putting together the last of Sako's bath box. Whoop! It will be sent out this coming week.
So, just in case you are self-publishing or anything like that, know that you can work for trade, work for barter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I am formatting Ginny Noble's book that will be coming out in March, which will be super great. And in return, she is, rather than paying me, she is paying me in bath things, which I'm here for.
I wish I liked baths.
Oh.
Hot tubs work for me. Baths don't. It's just, I think I've whined before. When you're trying to soak your neck, it's hard to do that and relax in a bath without drowning. Or tensing it. Or tensing the very area you're trying to. It's a choice between breathing and relaxing. And so baths aren't for me.
It's the problem with trying to relax in a bath that is made for generic sizes. You need something that's built for you to lean back and relax in.
It's also really, I think I need a sitting tub and not a bathtub if I want that. But also, I might need another hot water tank to get water up to my chin.
Yep.
Or a hot tub. I mean, come on. Why get a very fancy whatever bath when I could just, anyway. Andy, yay! He got a short story printed out for revision and only has a few chapters to go and is finishing up one of the chapters right now. Nice. Greg has just been reminded that 6 years ago, someone asked him where some paint cans were after a move.
They're probably still there, under things,
probably
with other stuff piled in front of it.
Nice. So, Andy thinks that's a great trade. Bath stuff for book work. Paul finished a full page, so he's only got one left. Awesome. Go you. Nice. Greg agrees with me that drowning is contraindicated. Andy says that there are some bath pillows which help. Baths just aren't my thing. I've tried them, but last time I took a bath.
He admits that it's a goodly sized bath.
Yeah. Also, I may be slightly traumatized. Last time I took a bath, I had poison ivy and accidentally got it systemic.
Lovely.
So there's some trauma involved too. It was not my best experience.
Oh my
Does
God.
not sound like a best bath experience ever. No.
Had to go on steroids. It was not fun.
That sucks.
And then I had jury duty while on steroids for poison ivy.
Oh, lovely.
It was great. Ginny says, I'm 6'2". Bads are not my friend.
Yeah.
Greg is like, yeah, it was a Facebook memory. So
I'm 5'10"
yeah.
and large, so it's like standard bathtubs are a question of compromises of what part of your body do you want to be covered with water.
Yes, I'm 5 foot even, and I struggle in a typical bath, right? So I can only imagine what it's like for my tall people.
I've actually been wondering if over my lifetime the depth of standard bathtubs has gotten shallower.
Aw.
My mom's house actually has a really deep bathtub because my stepdad wanted that, which makes it really hard to step into and out of. Like it's past my knee.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a high step to get in and out of, and I always get a little anxious, especially when your feet are wet.
Sure.
So, oh,
Hey,
we
kitty.
have a kitty. Hello.
Maybe.
Oh, so do we want to do another sprint? What are we feeling? Do we want to chat?
We're going to 6:30. I say we do another sprint and then we chat.
And then we
Ooh,
wrap
I
it
like
up with chat.
Yeah, yeah. Greg says claw bathtubs seem risky. They seem to be all the rage right now, but they're standing out in the room, so they're not insulated, so they're gonna cool down faster, aren't they? And you need a really good hot water tank to fill a full clawfoot tub. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So Kibby's popping in before work. Yay.
Right on.
So
Hello again.
let's what's
I
old
have
is
I have a gilly.
who's a good kitty? Who's a good kitty?
This is a smelly kitty.
Hi. Hi. Mine is napping in his nap spot on the back of the couch.
There's a cat
but-
right there. You can't see him because it's dark and he's black, but there's a cat there.
And
Yeah.
I
Trump,
spent
who is my usual couch companion, has disappeared because we're replacing our phone system with a new one we got for Christmas, and that half is all covered with stuff, with old technology.
Gotcha.
dare you.
And I have a gilly back again.
Yeah. So Greg says hi to Kitties and Catechus, who is, he did say hi earlier at the beginning of the stream.
Yep.
So, if you need your Catechus fix, I'm not going to wake him up from his nap.
Yeah.
But you can always scroll back.
Don't do that.
Oh, that elbow.
I usually do the palm down and that to pop my elbow.
Oh.
And it's been mixed results.
Mixed results.
Andy's kittens are taking advantage of various warm beds. Aw.
Yep.
So, Andy, sometimes you bounce out at 6 o'clock. So if you have to leave for dinner, I'm going to say bye now because I'm not going to notice for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Not, you're totally welcome to stay until the end of the stream. I just hate it when I'm trying to focus during my sprint and not actually monitor the chat because sometimes I actually want to be productive. What's the word?
I know, right?
So
Want to do that thing that the whole stream is for?
quote marks. Thank you very much. Kitty is here for the kitty love.
Yay.
So
she keeps coming back.
go ahead and get started, but cats are always welcome on my stream. So,
Mhm.
3, 2, 1, let's go. And we're back.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Oh, snap, crackle, pop.
Oh. So how was your sprint?
Good. Got through the preliminary stuff, and now I'm into the first draft of the rough sketch, which I have a pretty good idea of the direction I'm going.
Awesome. Doc?
Let's see. I believe I got through about halfway through the comments on from this reader. Definitely seem to have more comments up front. But
I usually do too.
Could the last reader surprised me again. There was one whole chapter that had no comments on it. It's like, okay, you were good with that. That's written. But this reader's adding in a lot more comments, so I think I still got a fair bit to go. But I've made good progress.
Nice. I got another 2 pages done, and I can't find my notebook. I know. If I was using Scrivener, I wouldn't have to look for my notebook.
No, I was going to say look under the cat. But
but yeah, so I spent a bit of time looking for my notes because I was like, I can't remember what color the sentient octopus people turn when they're pleased. Is it red? Is it blue? I can't remember.
Yeah,
So,
I got you. I prefer to have a handwritten series Bible as well, or a book Bible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, if only I could figure out where I put it. I haven't touched this manuscript in 2 months and a half.
Something like that.
So.
That's as long as you didn't put on Post-it notes on the ceiling, so you could just look back. Oh no.
No. The only Post-it note I have right now is a reminder about leaf collection. And I think it's trash now.
I think it's trash now.
So, hopping into the comments, Bonnie joined us for a sprint. Hello, Bonnie. And King Red Spy Red X says, hello, Jacob. And his friend Godzilla is here as well. Hello, Godzilla. So for the sprint, Jenny got 342 words on book 2. Nice.
Nice.
And Bonnie is working on a character sheet from a writing stream yesterday. Awesome. All these people who managed to actually attend the writer winter retreat because I spent most of yesterday napping and with a cat in my lap. So, King Red Spy Red Ox is watching Godzilla versus King Kong on HBO Max because he likes kaiju fighting.
Not for another half an hour.
Kaiju fighting. No.
All the kaiju were kung fu fighting.
Yeah, something like that.
That's one of my favorite fighting games. You picked your kaiju, and you your battlefields were basically cities. Awesome. So you could do like collateral damage and take flight and like do all kinds of like crazy shit in the air. Like super fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That just reminds me of this kaiju life, which is kind of the office set in a company that contracts to control giant monsters. So
yeah.
Cool. I'm going to split a little bit early because I have been charged with cleaning up the kitchen before dinner. So I'm going to...
Fist shake.
Fist shake.
outro then, and let people know who you are and where to find you. After I announce.
Howdy neighbors. Howdy neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voit. I write horror and I'm a witch and I'm a graphic designer. And sometimes I combine those three things. And if you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey Cass Voit. And it's not just me talking, it's people like Barrett Laurie and Lisa Daly and a bunch of other awesome author tubers who have something to say on the topic. So you should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Yay. Thanks for coming, and have a lovely dinner after, that kitchen thing gets out of the way.
Yeah, the kitchen thing needs doing. Okay, I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Congrats to Paul, who got another half a page done. He's got, I guess, just his conclusion left, if he's got half a page left on a
Sounds
school
about
paper.
right.
Nicely done. Awesome. So, yeah. Any fun, exciting things this week?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm a little bit dreading the fact that Tuesday I've got to go back into the office at work. Yeah, I'm not happy with the current surges around here, and
Nope.
And it's like, at least I know when I'm home, I know that I'm around people who are taking proper precautions, because there's only the two of us and we don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But
That makes sense. My work is switching me from the cube farm I'm in back to the cube farm I was in before. Because the original cube farm we got moved out of because they were going to make it open office space, and I didn't want to be an open office space. And for some reason, the pandemic hit, and they decided not to convert it into open office space. So they're moving a different project that they just got the contract on into the space I'm in now, and moving all of us back right where we were. Give or take a row.
They're not like leaving you working from home all the time.
I've actually been going in twice a week. I support some hardware that is not accessible offsite. So, but I wanted a cube, so I told them I go in 3 times a week because I don't want a hotel space. I want to be able to leave some stuff at the office. And if you go in twice a week, you get hotel space. If you go in 3 times a week, you get a dedicated unshared desk that nobody else is coughing on.
Okay, I see how that's important.
So I told them I would be in 3 times a week. 3 to 4. So clearly I need a desk.
Yep.
So, yeah. They keep trying to give me a desk in the building where I'm working with the hardware, but that A, it's a bit cramped, and B, I don't think I'm going to be on this project much longer. So I don't want to be a building over from the main building if I'm not going to be there long term, So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Ooh, Paul is sharing sympathy. It was supposed to go back to the office tomorrow, but they postponed it another 2 weeks because of Omicron. So I will, after tomorrow, be remote again for a week because I'm helping out my mom. She had surgery last month, and the recovery is not going quite as quickly as anyone wanted. But I needed to leave her alone for a couple days, and tagged out with my brother-in-law. So
cool.
But it is 6:30, so I guess it's time for us to say goodbye and figure out dinner. Because I'm kind of hungry.
I didn't have snacks stocked up next to my chair here, so I'm hungry.
Whoa! This might deserve some sort of shout out. Did you see me eat any snacks or drink anything during this entire stream?
I don't believe so, but I wasn't exactly watching you during the sprints, so.
I think this might be my first stream in which I didn't spend half of it snacking.
Mm.
Maybe not my first, but it's pretty up there.
So, are you saying that as an achievement to go that long for without snacking, or because
No,
this is why your productivity was down, you weren't fueling appropriately during the process?
no, I other way around. I'm on page 8, which isn't like the fastest I've ever been. I usually like 10 pages per hour is a good clip,
Mm-hmm.
but for a 2-hour stream, half of it's chatting. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I snack more when I need to get the engine rolling,
Mm-hmm.
and because it was rolling without snacks, that was a good thing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
You 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 didn't need the snacks because you were already being productive and rolling along. Yes.
Exactly. Where sometimes I just have to bribe myself. Or, I've gotten into the habit of snacking while doing and
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah. See, I always have a slight problem snacking while doing something that requires me to type because stuff gets on your fingers. So, and I don't want that in my keyboard. So,
so
yeah.
anyway, let's go ahead and do our outros and tell people where they can find us.
All right. I'm Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. You can find me at doccoleman.com. You can also find my works on Amazon. And if it's too hard to remember that, and you didn't remember to look at the links down below and copy them, then you can always search Doc Coleman Steampunk and you will find my stuff on Amazon. You will find my site.
And I am your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I am an actively querying fantasy author, and I have one published short story on Dark Recesses online webzine. As of like what, last week before, something. It was exciting.
Yep.
I was excited. It happened. But
There was
usually you
excitement.
can find me you can actually find some of my fiction online, which is good because most of what you can find is me blogging writing tips and writerly musings with writing tips from the pros and my own, of course, writerly musings. This week, I was talking about why I need my manuscript to rest and what I'm doing with this round of revisions or edits before I send it on to my alpha reader. So, you can check me out at morganhazelwood.com, YouTube/Morgan Hazelwood, or the podcast is over at morganhazelwood.fireside.fm. Because branding, hashtag. So thank you all for coming, even though I totally stomped on the winter writing retreat. I'm sorry about that, guys. And have a great week. And I hope to see y'all back here next week. And maybe I'll be productive before then. We'll see. It could happen. It could happen.
It could happen.
So have a great week and good to see everybody. Bye bye.
Bye bye.